just in my opening remarks, there was a building collapse that happened at Alagbomeji on Saturday. That's like the fifth building collapse case that we've had this year. The first one happened at Oriwu, all in Lagos. Another one in Ikorodu, another one in Kosoko in Bega. Then this one at Alagbomeji. Just it's very sad because when these things happen, we lose lives and we lose hard-earned investment. So today, there's a report that you did, the Lagos housing market, the third edition of the report. So tell us more about this report, Dr. Ibinoba.
Okay, thank you very much, and once again, thanks for having me. So this report is the third in its series. The first was in 2009, the second was in 2016, and in June this year, we did the third edition. So basically, the report is looking at the demand and supply dynamics in the market. Good. We interviewed about 11,000 respondents just to make the data robust and follow the processes of and the protocols as established by the National Bureau of Statistics and the Lagos State Bureau of Statistics. Right. So, and in that report, the highlight of the report is that we now have 3.4 million units of housing as deficit for Lagos State. Please, this is not national. Right? Just so
Lagos State.
So we can put that in context. So, I mean, we are very proud to say that we know the deficit in Lagos State.
Wow.
In 2016, that figure was 2.9 million units. And so what this tells us, the same amount of capital that is needed. In the infrastructure space is almost the same thing that you're looking at when you talk about the housing deficit. It just tells you the humongous nature of the opportunity that is in residential real estate, because this is just housing. We are not even talking about the commercial real estate now.
And housing is an integral part of any economy.
I mean, there are three basic needs for man. We all know food, shelter, and clothing, right? And so what's even more important is that if you face housing, if any economies where there has been a lot of investment in housing, right? And a lot of focus in housing, what you find is that economy, builds up. So, and you hear that when there are recession, people just get into governments who have risen out of recession, get into construction because they are hiring people, they are employing more people, and there's a lot of activities. So that's basically what we have found out in the report. I mean, it's a 256-page report. Wow. I mean, it's not something we can cover in the show.
Is the report for sale?
Yes, the report is for sale.
Is it available to the public?
Website. No, it's for sale.
It's for sale.
It's for sale. Okay. It's available to the public, but it's for sale.
Okay. So where can listeners pick up this report?
At riford.org. That's the website. So if you Google riford.org, the report is there. RIRFHUD.org.
So can you take that website one more and please share? Also tell us what's the cost for this report? Okay. Because one of the things that is affecting us as a country is our data. We don't have data. You can see that I was struggling to reel out the figure of our national housing deficit because I don't even know which figure is accurate.
Okay. So I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. So what we have also done is to make sure that we sort of democratize these data, right?
Okay.
The cost of it right now, it's 75,000 per copy. Yes. But let me tell you that in 2009, when we did the first edition, we sold at 250,000.
Wow.
When we did the second edition in 2016, we started selling at 130,000 and then stopped around 80,000. Now, for this third edition, we realized that, just like you said, right? This data, it shouldn't be an elitist data.
Data is a big deal in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've tried to do with this pricing is to sort of just democratize it, okay? And so if you go to a website, Roland Ibinoba, if you Google Roland Ibinoba Real Foundation, you will find you will find the link that takes you to
the website
for the report. So I mean, and you said it's spot on. Data is key.
It's key.
Okay. For example, we found out that in Lagos alone, right, only about 5% of the housing stock in Lagos is less than 15 million naira. And these are people who built incrementally over a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 year period. So it just tells you that to own a home in Lagos, right, you need some level capacity,
capital, finance,
capital to be able to do that. But good thing is that now you have several government program, like the Renewed Hope Cities, the Emory funding, where people can key in, right?
Yes.
But that number 3.4 million units, just imagine that each house is priced at somewhere 20 million naira. You're talking about trillions and trillions of naira for that sector. Yeah.
I particularly like the agenda of this current administration with the Renewed Hope City.
Okay.
Is a project that's going to be building about 100,000 housing units all across the country. Each of the states is going to be having about 1,000 housing units. I pray that project becomes very implemented, because I'm also very particular about the job it's going to create. It's going to create about 500,000 jobs across the country.
Yeah.
But again, my biggest problem is the fact that we battle with data in this country is one of the things that takes us aback as a country, because we battle with data. And if you don't have accurate data as a government, it's difficult to plan. Absolutely. Because data helps you with planning. But I'd like us to go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Thank you.
Yes. Dr. Roland,
and we've had a very wonderful discussion so far.
We've had, a very wonderful discussion so far, except, of course, for the opening tragedy where you mentioned the collapsed building and the lives that have been lost. But still on the issue of housing deficits and data with regards to property ownership and housing in Lagos State especially.
Yes.
I know this is my first time actually seeing the book. I know I have seen past editions, and I know that a lot of times you're very thorough with your research and your data that you provide. So I'm very excited to see this, and it's something that a lot of not just Nigerians need, but investors from around the world need to get access to, so that they can get insight
on the country they're bringing their money to.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because what you see is a lot of negative PR.
A lot.
With regards to our housing issues and our housing market. So it's good that we have this kind of insight where we can know, okay, this is the number that is available. Because what you find is people say, especially Nigerians in diaspora, when you engage them on the value of properties, some of them say, oh, why am I going to spend that amount on real estate in Nigeria when I can spend this amount on real estate in New York? And it's important for them to note that real estate in Nigeria is very different from anywhere else in the world.
Very true.
The need for real estate in Nigeria, considering our population, is constantly going to constantly appreciate and increase. As much as we can say we still have a lot of green area for development, we also still have a lot of population that need quality and affordable
housing. So, very true.
So we've seen how new highways and bridges or railway lines, infrastructures and all that spike property values in certain areas. Can you briefly explain the direct relationship between transport infrastructure and the Nigerian rental system?
Very interesting question, and in we covered that entire question that you just asked in the section of that report, where we talked about transit-oriented developments and how it affects housing. So, meaning if you look at the rail lines, the blue, the red that is being done right now, all the way to Badagry, and then it's still going all the way to Ekpe. What typically happens is that this immediately, there are several positives
even the Lagos Coastal Highway,
Lagos absolutely highway, that's coming now, right? So but if we just focus on the rail lines a bit, what it means is that people can travel, people can cut travel times by almost 60-70%. And when you cut travel times, what also then happens is that affordability, you are solving affordability problems. It means that I don't now have to live very close to where I work. One. Secondly, rails are cheaper, right? They save you time. Just that time alone, right? They're faster, right? To take you where you are going. And so what you have found is that because of that, people are able to say, rather than taking a rent of a certain amount, you can now go further down. Because you can get on the train
something cheaper.
You get
accommodation cheaper somewhere, and you can still navigate yourself. And so
that's helping rental housing. And you see this in developed climes, in developed parts of the world, even in emerging countries. So whether you look at Brazil or you look at Mexico or Malaysia, Thailand, you see a lot of this happening, and then the sport development around those locations. And just like you mentioned, with the coastal road, that's already, people who have traveled the length of that coastal road can already tell you that they save, although it's not opened.
But the first 30 kilometers is actually very smooth, even though they haven't officially launched it.
So you can imagine, so in 30 minutes, you find out that where you should be traveling on about an hour, or an hour and a half, you're already
from VI to Eleko Junction is less than 10 minutes drive on that road. Smooth, in Eleko Junction. If you have to, I'm telling you,
15,
maybe 15 thereabout. But I'm not exaggerating. 20, but if you have to go through the normal Lekki Expressway,
no, forget that.
But to be very honest, even the Lekki Expressway is also better off now. Yes, pockets of traffic.
If you even look at infrastructure, it helps development, right?
It does.
And when we talk about infrastructure, I want us to also look at manufacturing concerns. We all know what the free trade zone has done to that axis. We know what the Dangote refinery has done to that axis, right? And it's a good thing that government is now coming into those areas just to ensure that they are planned so that you don't see proliferation of slums all around those locations. So yes, infrastructure helps a lot. And and with what Lagos State government is also doing, they have this, this transit-oriented development model in mind, to say that at the stops of where this train would be, there will be communities that will be living in those spots, where you have the train stops.
So let me also ask you this. So over time, we've seen governments acquire. A week ago, we saw a lot of demolition going on in Yanoworo. And it's still causing a lot of buzz as we speak right now. So my problem is, if we have this number of housing deficit, 22 million, 18 million, whatever it is, we have a deficit. And in Lagos, as you have said, we have about 3.4 million housing deficit. And the government is still demolishing houses, making people homeless. So what's your take about this? And I also want to hear what do you think is the way forward, because as a government, as you are demolishing, you should also be building.
And I know really said, Doctor, you mentioned this the last episode where you had talked about look, if we're demolishing properties, especially most of these properties that are demolishing that in those areas, you find that they are often minimum
low income earners,
low income to middle income earners,
and the property the government is building, a low income earner cannot afford it. So what do you think about this?
So I think we need to properly dimension this, right?
Yes, please.
I don't think that any government would just go about demolishing houses, right? You're talking about Oroshoke area, right?
Yes.
Now, I think that Oroshoke has a planned layout.
It does,
right? So the questions to ask is that, first, let's come to the social side of the implications for demolition. The questions to ask was that those buildings there, were they approved? Were they in approved layouts? Were they in government plan? The government approved the building. Was there conversations that happened pre the demolition of those properties? Because see, that's what I'm saying. That's one. But there's the social aspect that you have said, where why do you want to render people homeless. Right? But with housing, and this is where it's almost like a chicken and an egg situation, right? The truth is, what is...
Sorry to butt in. I think we have a caller. Let's pick this call and then we'll come back to the... Yes, morning, please. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Okay, so I think we lost that call. So let's over to you.
So what I'm saying is that the social side is what's government going to do? What amount of notices that was given to these people to evacuate the place? Because you cannot say that. I mean, just imagine you as an individual, right?
Yes.
So you have a property that maybe you didn't complete on time, and then you have squatters moving, right? And you now want to take possession of that property, and you say you don't want to render those people homeless when you need that property. So my question is, what was that area zoned and planned for? Did government give them approval? If government gave them approval, chances are they would compensate them for that demolition.
But let me say,
let's come to the social side.
Let me say something very, very important here, sir. Dr. Roland, let me also say something. It's very sad that the government will watch these people build these houses lived there for years. Some have lived there for 30, 40 years. Then the government will now come after to what was the government when they were building these houses? If they don't have approval as a government, you don't even allow them build. So the idea of waiting for them to build and settle down there and now come and render them homeless is barbaric. That's my take. And let me also tell you, some of these people, the government is not even transparent enough. Some of these people, what the government told them was that the government told them to go and beautify their houses. That if they don't beautify it, they'll come and take over. That they said it was giving a slummish look from the Tubman Land Bridge, the view. And there was a woman that went to sell a house in Ikorodu to come and rehabilitate the one in Yanawuru just to make it look good, and the house was still demolished. So the transparency is always a problem in anything that has to do with the government.
I think I saw a video where is it the fiscal planning?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
it was talking about how they've engaged these guys for a long time, how the government have plans for them and all of that. So the question you ask is very important.
Yes.
How is it that you let these people build and they come and demolish?
Yes.
But again, I'm going to tell you, right?
Some people right now they're in hospital, depressed. They are totally depressed. Lots of investment, lots of properties.
It's something that is really, really tough. But the question is, what is going to happen to them? What kind of conversation? I don't have all those details. That's
compensation, right?
I don't know what kind of compensation. I don't know whether they have approved layout.
Yes.
So I hear what you are saying. Why did they allow them?
Yes.
But you also need to know, just like everyone, government's resources is not limitless.
I agree.
Do you understand?
Yes.
It's not limitless.
Yes.
They might have, this is housing.
Yes.
There is health. There is education.
Yes.
There are several other sectors that government and there are priorities. Do you understand that they will deal with? So yes, this might be government's neglect. But now that they want to focus on that area, they're like, oh boy, where are the approvals? Where are the what's happening? This is not our plan for this place. Now we want to implement the plan for this place. My take is, as a concerned government, right?
Yes.
I am sure that they are not just going to demolish that place and leave the people and throw them all out.
But that's what's playing out right now.
Let's see. Wait, have you spoken to any of the government?
Do you know I was in Yanawuru?
Real estate
so
doctor.
let me tell you, sir.
Have you spoken
to? You
know what you should do?
Last week, two of those affected persons came to rent the property from me. They threw them outside. In fact, they were left stranded. In fact, some did not even pick a pin from their houses. So. And I asked them what was the reason for this demolition, I
hope you gave them discount for their apartment.
Because they came like in a rush, and so I had to give them discount. To be very honest, I did, because I felt for them. These were family men. These were family men. So my point is, as a government, we must understand that politics is about the people.
No, they are social.
If you cannot take care of the people, if you continue to put people in pain, then something is wrong. And I'm very sure that this kind of thing will not have happened during electionary period. Because right now, but I know that these people here, they'll wait for the government, APC, to say, because sometimes these things are political. And that's the honest truth. And some are even accusing the Oba of Woro to say that he was aware and the man said it was. So it was just a complete mess. My own is the side of human face to this thing. I cannot imagine saving a whole lot and to build a house. Look at one very beautiful house that was demolished. That house is not even up to 3-4 years old. Very beautiful house. That house, are you telling me that house is also looking like a slum?
No. I don't have the details, right?
Yes.
But I don't think this is about whether a house is looking like a slum or not.
Yes.
I think this is more about, did you get an approval to build?
How many buildings in Lagos State has approval, please?
No, but you should.
But how many?
So I don't understand. So does it mean? Does it mean?
That have approval in Lagos State are not 20%.
No, real estate doctor. No. You can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, I mean you can't say that. How can you say because
the buildings that have approval in Lagos State are not 20%? Are not 20%.
So you should follow the trend, right?
It does not mean it's okay.
I hope your properties.
My point is, let the poor breathe. Let the poor breathe. We cannot do this in Ikoyi or VI.
I hope your properties have approval. What do you mean, no?
Which side of Lekki, the waterside area? Forget it, please.
This guy, wait. I hope your properties have approval.
They do.
Okay, because otherwise, they are coming for your.
No, let me tell you. I'm a respecter of the law.
Correct.
And I do not want to be on the other side. I don't want to be caught on the other side of the where I'll now be begging somebody. I follow protocols. That's the only, because I understand that if all of us continue to cut corners, this country is not going to go forward.
Absolutely.
So I don't.
What you find is that a lot of developers actually do cut corners. That's how come
because
the issue
and
with
because of
that had to be
look at so recently 176 housing estates
yes
were declared illegal, and I saw that story and I was like, what kind of?
And you just know that some of those developers did not
the vision and the look we're giving it, the investors we're looking like jokers. How do you wait for 176 housing estate to be built? How many housing estates do we even have in Lagos State with this 3.4 million deficit? Lagos State alone, and you're declaring them illegal because they failed to collect to obtain layout plans.
See, this is what. So let me tell you guys, you know what's happening within this space, right? I think that we all need to behave and play responsibly. All right. So I mean, when you say 176 estates are illegal, it has some sort of pushback for the investing community to say, this is not a good thing, right? But I guess that, okay, so what's the fear? But a lot of those guys' estates now, as I know, are already complying with the government.
Yes.
Okay, so but you see, again, when government wakes up, to do things because nobody is looking doesn't mean that you understand. So it's still government. When they wake up. Yes. Then you would dance to their tune, but I dare say since the past few weeks that they made this announcement, right? Yes. People are now regularizing.
They are,
this
because there was a 21 days ultimatum given to
them and all of that.
So we've been discussing in the studio with Dr. Roland Ibinoba, and I think you're also something Abia State. Can you give us that information?
Oh no. I mean it's the work we're doing. Okay, I'm a lead consultant for the development of affordable housing in Abia State. So we're just helping them create a framework and bring in developers and sort of create smart cities and communities within the state. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Talking about smart cities, right? How realistic? I'm not saying it's not realistic, right? But how realistic in Nigeria is it for us to adopt the smart city that we're talking about? The tech installed sustainability, sustainable features.
But it's already happening now.
I agree that
it's already happening.
I agree that it is already happening. But I'm talking about on a scaling basis, right? Because what you expect from a smart city anywhere in the world, that's some very expensive to install features, right, that people appreciate and maintain, because maintenance culture is very important.
I don't even think that we can achieve. I like to be all very objective. I don't even think that we can achieve that smart city in quote like advanced countries.
No.
A country where we don't have Wi-Fi, we don't have common Wi-Fi everywhere.
Come on, say this guy is not that bad.
You think it's not that bad?
No.
You are privileged, Dr. Roland. You are privileged.
It's not that bad. No, what I'm saying is because I work with several. No, it's not like that. No, I don't think it's
a country where Wi-Fi is a big deal.
So let me explain to you, right? Yes, the backbone, the infrastructure backbone is still a challenge, right? Yes. But I dare say that we are progressing as we move. And for smart city, right, we will scale. We don't have to start from on level 1 to 10. We don't have to start from 10 from
it's a
now,
process.
But now I hope you are aware. I mean, part of smart city is the real essence for smart cities is collection of data.
I agree.
So for security, within this now, you know that there are some locations in Lagos where if you overspeed,
they have this control room where they monitor.
Control.
It happened to me recently.
Okay,
but sadly, our time is fast spent. I think this conversation has to continue some other time. Our time is fast spent. Thank you so much, Dr. Roland Ibinoba, for stopping by in the studio today, and to our audience, I think we've had a wonderful time today. King Gray, it's good to have you as usual.
It has always been. It's always a fun.
Yeah. So I like to leave off with this parting shot from a school of thought I really subscribe to. If you are not failing, it means you're not doing anything. Thank you so much, and stay blessed. We'll see you same time next week. Thank you.